Now, I'm not saying loyalty is a bad thing. It can be great, but it can sometimes limit your growth. Hey there, welcome back to my epic journey. This is Brandon DeVere. Thank you as always for tuning in and sharing your time with me. I do appreciate that. Here we are on the journey from 600 back to zero, back to 600 plus, and everything in between. Wanted to share with you today. I had a pretty good weekend. Hopefully you had a nice holiday weekend and hanging out. I finally got to get back and practice with the flag football team. We got our guys coming back, guys and girls coming back for our upcoming spring season, so that should be fun. Today, I wanted to discuss loyalty, and it's pretty interesting today because as I was listening to something that we'll get to in a second, but as I was listening to this, I'm thinking my book and a couple things that I'll probably jump in on after. But I was thinking about the chapter that I wrote on tradition, which I'll probably get into in another time. But I was thinking today because we were on our call, so we just started. I think this is the third call now. For our new coaching platform that we have within Epique Realty. All the agents have access to it. You saw me go through it the other day in one of the episodes where I kind of broke down what we're getting, what we're able to use, and all the different training and classes and courses that we can get in on. But Rob Stein is our Earth to Orbit coach that offers that, and he proposed a pretty interesting question today, or thought, right? It was pretty thought provoking. On a couple different fronts, and it was about loyalty and about loyalty and what trees bear which fruit and things like that. So one of the things was he talked about how loyalty is typically aligned or associated with people. Like when we're loyal to people. I've heard people say, I'm loyal to a fault, and I've heard that often. And loyalty typically is a positive word. Like, hey, you're loyal. To like, people love loyalty and they do, especially the people that you're being loyal to, right? So that definitely comes out as a positive most of the time. But sometimes when people do say that they're loyal to a fault, they become loyal to, and the fault is for them, for what their ability to grow or what they're receiving from their loyalty. And so that it really kind of, in my mind, the way he was talking about it today, because he was talking about how loyalty is also comes in the form of things, right? Of actions, of habits, and stuff like that I would have never like put together before. And so it was interesting to hear him talk about that and what loyalties that you have, like to a habit, to like your loyalty to check your phone at night, and your loyalty to stay up and then get up later, which is either way. It can go either way, because I'm definitely not, like, I'm not 5 a.m., 4 a.m. club guy. Like, I've never been that in my life. My mind usually sparks. Like right about now is when I start thinking about things, and it's very difficult, to get my mind to shut down completely, not completely, but enough to where I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm not thinking about anything anymore. Let's go to bed. And so I typically stay up a little bit later. I would prefer to stay up until like 3 a.m. and work on stuff, and get up at like 10 or 11. That's what I would prefer to do. It's very difficult to do when you have kids and other things. So I typically am in bed by about 11, and getting up 6:30, 7 o'clock is typically when I try to get up and get going. But like the loyalty to staying up and checking your phone and watching videos and things like that. And when you say yes to something, you have to say no to another. And so he's talking about like your fruit, like you have to cut down the trees that don't, the bad trees bear bad fruit, good trees bear good fruit. And he's talking about trying to cut down the bad trees in your life, which is very, very interesting to me, so that you can quit eating that fruit. But what was even more important with that analogy, he was talking about when you have fruit that tastes fine, and you're used to eating this fruit, and this is the exact analogy he used. That's why I'm using it. Hopefully it makes sense. But while you're eating this fruit, so the analogy of eating this fruit that you continue to eat is basically daily, what you do daily, where you're at, what you've been doing forever. And that's what made me think about the chapter in my book called Tradition, because tradition and loyalty can both limit you and limit your growth. because in tradition, you're typically doing things the way they've always been done. Well, in loyalty, you're doing those things because you are loyal to, whether it's the process, whether it's, the people. Let's say we'll just in real estate, we'll say you're loyal to your brokerage because of something, right? I've had people tell me that they're loyal to their brokers because they gave them an advance on their commission, so now they feel indebted to their broker. So it's not, in that case, it's not even necessarily loyalty. It's, you feel in debt, right? I've had people say that they've known their broker for a long time, and that they couldn't leave them. They wouldn't want to leave them behind, things like that. But you become loyal because you're doing the same thing. You're in this space. You don't know anything other than, right? So you're eating that same fruit, and everything is just fine. Well, then you get offered some fruit that you never had before, and you're like, whoa, okay, well, this is a little bit different, like, but this is not my fruit that I'm used to. So that's kind of the analogy that he used, and it was very interesting to me, where like sometimes your loyalty isn't necessarily for any other reason other than you're loyal to how it's always been done. You're loyal to the tradition of things and how they've been done. And that's one of the things that is very difficult for people to get past. I was just on almost over a 2-hour call talking to an agent, and he's a new agent, just passes his test, getting ready to go get his license, and he's interviewing brokerages. And I sat on the phone with him for over 2 hours. Will he join? I don't know. He may or may not. He enjoyed everything that he heard, but I was the first person that he talked to after this. So, he has no frame of reference for what he's loyal to at the moment, right? He's out there looking for what's new. But what I was talking to him about was cloud-based brokerages, and he was like, I don't really know about that and all that. I've always been kind of nervous of that for certain reasons, because again, back to tradition. Traditionally, that's not how it's been done. It's been, you go to the office, you do all this. And so he hadn't looked into this. And so he was actually pretty surprised about what was offered and how we kind of combat some of those shortcomings of cloud brokerages, of, putting people in place so where you have a culture and you have somebody to kind of lean on in that way. But again, coming back to, the fruit that you're eating, is it the best because it's the best, or it's the best because you haven't seen anything else, or haven't tried any other fruit? And so that was just something I wanted to talk about today, because it was very interesting to me that it wasn't always like loyalty isn't always, a couple things that I took away from it was loyalty isn't always to a person. It can be, or a place. Like, it can be a habit. It can be, something that you don't expect it to be. And that's what caught me off guard, that one. And then also the fact that, your loyalty can be ingrained in tradition of, you've just never done anything any differently. So you don't think that there's a better way. So that was very interesting to me, in that way. So think about it for yourself. Like, if you're loyal to something, what causes your loyalty? Is it because it is the greatest? Is it because you feel in debt? Or is it because what you're used to? So there, many different ways why you'd be loyal to something, but that was just kind of some food for thought. I thought it was pretty interesting in that call today. Those calls have been great. Very excited to continue with those and just get, the mindset. It's called Mindset Monday. It's every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, that we are on with Rob Stein, and he gives us, some, again, trying to set our mindset for the week to get going. It's not necessarily always about real estate. There was some talk in there about some health, some nutrition, things like that. But yeah, definitely one of the benefits, and this is one of the benefits that have been added since I've been here. And these benefits are being added without any additional cost to us agents, as well as another one that could be on the way here pretty soon. Hopefully, I'm pretty excited about it. So hopefully we get to see that soon. But all right, guys, ask yourself, what are you being loyal to, and what is your loyalty keeping you from? All right, I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great one.